This is Alan Thrall reporting live from Untamed Strength Gym in Sacramento, California. I have signed up for California's Strongest Man 2025, and this is the first training vlog of competition prep. Tune in to hear about how weak I got in 2024, why I love jumping, plus lots of good training, some delicious breakfast, and much more.
California's Strongest Man 2025, day one prep begins today. But first, breakfast. Always breakfast. Breakfast is the reason I get up in the mornings. One cooked sweet potato. 3 cackleberries. Vanilla. Cinnamon. Mix until smooth, like baby food. Actually, no, pancake batter. There you go, this egg and sweet potato type pancake thing. I'm gonna put a little syrup and pecans on this. You could put some Greek yogurt on it. I've put peanut butter and sliced banana on it, kind of like toast. But I'm gonna go traditional pancake today. Don't need a bunch. Little grip work in the morning. There we go. I'm going to finish this program for an online client. Head to the gym and do my own programming. I'll see you there. 2024 has been all about enjoyment as far as training goes. It's all about me doing the things that I like to do. And I really just wanted to get some enjoyment out of training. So if I really wanted to do something, I was going to do it. If I didn't want to do something, I wasn't going to do it. If I dreaded doing something, I certainly wasn't going to sit there and, tell myself that I had to do this. All right, today I'm going to do some jumps to warm up. I'm going to do some front squats, clean complex, some overhead press, and then probably some sled pushes. That's the plan, at least. Let's see if I can stick to that. It's going to kind of be determined on time, but that's the goal. Both microphones are dead, so sorry for the audio. 10 to 15 minutes of jumps. The reps that I'm going 3 vertical up to a box jump, and then stepping off and doing a depth jump. Number of sets is up to me. I just kind of rest as I need, move the camera around and talk to you guys. But also, I just ramp up intensity throughout those 10 to 15 minutes. This is all stuff from the Haas Project, Haas Olympic, Launch, any of Will Rattel's programs. If I was supposed to be doing a heavy back squat, and I got to the gym and I really just didn't want to do a heavy barbell back squat, I wasn't going to sit there and have a conversation with myself and convince myself that you got to do it anyways. I would just pivot, just do something else. Maybe I wanted to do a SSB box squat or a speed squat and use bands, do an EMOM set. I might do a pendulum squat machine. I might do a walking barbell lunge. There were a couple of times where I was in the gym, I'm in the gym all day, working with clients or doing classes or whatever the case, and I just wanted to get out of the gym for a minute. So I went on a run for my lower body leg day. I went on a run, found a stadium, did some jumps up and down the stadium seats and ran up and down the stairs, and that was my leg day. For upper body, there were a lot of times where I didn't want to bench press. So I was like, I'm gonna do weighted push-ups, I'll do dip variations, I'll do some pike push-ups, some handstand holds against the wall, I'll do some pull-ups, maybe I'll go to the park and do a workout. So it was a lot of like, if I wanted to do something, I would just do it. I was a advanced program hopper, and I was totally fine with that. Towards the end of the year, I did start following a program by Will Rattel called Haas Project, because at that point I wanted to do more Olympic lifting, I wanted to do some jumping, and I just liked the structure of that program. So I said, I'm gonna start doing this. But other than that program, I was really just kind of doing whatever I'd like to do.
So I've been following the Haas programs, Haas Olympic, Project, Launch 2.0, kind of a hodgepodge of those programs for the last few months. And the jumping, especially in Will Rattel's programs, has really revitalized my love for jumping. And it's made me aware of how necessary it is. So I've always done jumps, just very basic like box jumps, but I really like the variety and the different styles of jumps, single leg jumps, broad jumps, lateral jumps, and then as well as the approach, like doing as many sets as you can within a certain period of time or whatever the case. But there was a period of time recently for about a year and a half where I didn't do any jumping and I didn't do any Olympic lifts, and I became aware the hard way that I really do need to do that stuff. If you don't use it, you lose it. There were a couple instances where I hurt myself jumping or actually landing outside of the gym. So I was, a couple of examples would be jumping out of the bed of my truck, jumping off a little ledge at a park with my son, and I had these like, something would hurt or ache or kind of tweak something, and I had this little minor injury. And I just realized, man, I haven't been doing any sort of Olympic lifts or jumping, and I really need to start doing more of that again. I think that we often talk about, as you age, it's important to maintain strength or build strength, because as we age, we tend to lose top end strength. And so doing strength training is very important as you age. I'm not pretending like I'm an old guy, I'm in the prime of my life right now, but 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s and beyond. And then we often talk about the importance of having muscle. If you don't have any muscle, build muscle now so that you have more of it later. And each decade, you have this percentage loss of muscle. How true that is or how accurate it is, I don't know, but whatever the case, build some muscle, build some strength. But less often do we talk about muscle, ligament, tendon, elasticity, your ability to rebound or absorb force, absorb impact. And I think that jumping should be a part of your routine for the rest of your life, really. For me, at least, it's going to be. I've worked with some people in their 50s and 60s and 70s who can deadlift 300 pounds, which is awesome, but I really don't have confidence in asking them to jump up to 2 stairs, or more specifically, jump down from 2 stairs. And if we are in the gym lifting weights and exercising to improve our quality of life, improve our physical independence, to be more resilient against injury or falls later on, I think that doing jumping is important, and learning how to land is important. So I'm doing a 3-position clean, which is a clean from the floor, clean from the hang below the knee, and then a high hang clean just in the hip. And what I'm doing here is a power for the first and the second clean, and then a full clean for the high hang clean, because I need to work on my powers. I'm pretty good at jumping under the bar or dropping under the bar. I just need to work on pulling the bar higher. So that's why power, full clean. This is from Haas Olympic. And I'm gonna do 5 to 6 working sets. Critical error. I wore boxers. I didn't wear compression shorts. I feel like every time I drop the bar, I slice that thing off. I should also say that in 2024, to be honest, I did not have that dog in me. I did not want to lift heavy.
really ever. There were plenty of times where my weight selection was good enough. If I felt like there was a difference in bar speed from warm-ups to this working set, hey, good enough. If it felt kind of heavy, if I had to try, good enough. Bar speed started to slow down, that's good enough. And move on. And this approach led to me really never dreading any training sessions, because if I didn't want to lift heavy, whatever, I'm not going to. But also I felt really good, so I was able to do a lot more in the gym, and I was able to do a lot more the next day. So this was never the case of, I really don't want to work out today, so I won't. That's not it. I actually worked out more with this approach more frequently than I would if I was on a really hard, heavy 3 or 4 day a week program.
Okay, next up is Anderson pin or Anderson front squat. An Anderson squat is a pin squat, but you're starting from the bottom each rep. Now, the reason I've just been digging these lately, I really like the Anderson squat or the Anderson front squat because that first rep is hard to get into position, and it mimics a lot of stuff in strongman where you have to pick something up from the bottom. You have to squat something up from the bottom. You don't get that eccentric portion to load the spring and to balance and all that kind of stuff. So each time, each first rep, I'm not in a great position, and I have to overcome that when I stand up. And then just a pin squat in general is a little different than a pause squat, because when you set the bar on the pins, you don't get to adjust at all like you would in a pause squat. So if you're a little on your toes and you set the bar down forward, you got to overcome that when you stand back up. So you really have to be aware of bar path, balance on the way down. And the workout today was 15 to 20 minutes, do as many productive sets of 3 to 5 reps as possible. The number of sets is, I think it was estimated to do around 5 to 6, more or less, no big deal. I did 6 sets of 5. Maybe could have squeezed out a couple more reps within the 15 minutes, but 6 sets of 5 was solid. Probably go a little heavier next time. Gotta watch the equipment when you're in a parking lot. I've had strongman equipment ran over. I don't have much time left. First training session in California Strongest Man Prep, and it's already changing, but that's how a lot of my program has been lately. So I had pin press and some sled pushes to do for this workout. I don't have time for both. So what I'm gonna do is, since my legs are already warmed up and fresh, well, not fresh, but since they're already warmed up and primed, I'm gonna do some uphill sled pushes. I'm gonna move the upper body to tomorrow, which is more of an upper body dominant session anyway. I'm gonna do 10 minutes, as many of these as I can, and then I gotta go. I'm gonna do these with no arms, so I'll drop my arms down, just push with my shoulders and my legs, just to simulate more of a truck pull. I want a lot of forward body lean. All right, 90 minutes exactly. I gotta wrap this up. Moving the camera around and recording and angles. I forgot how time consuming that is, so I wasn't able to finish everything. It's getting moved to day 2. You can't skip grip work. A little extra grip work when you're putting your stuff away. Extra grip work with this Strength Co. 45. I think it's like 3.5 inches, and I know what 3.5 inches looks like. Standard bumper. That's good. Good grippings. What's up, dude?
How you doing?
Good. Some grip challenges while I'm cleaning up.
Oh, fine.
Gotta be opportunistic.
Now, I can't say that it was all sunshine and rainbows, because if I'm being honest, I'm certainly weaker now than I was last year. I'm not lifting the same weights now that I was this time last year. And when I say weaker, I don't think of myself as weak. I still think I'm strong, powerful, I feel athletic, I feel fast, I feel conditioned, all that kind of weight stuff, but my numbers are certainly less. I can't give you any hard numbers like my squat went from this to this, but working weights, my squat, I was using 250 to 315. Deadlift was like 300 to 400 pounds. Overhead press, 135-ish. Bench, 185 to 225. Those were like my working weights, more or less. And so anyways, that's what my training has been for the past year almost, all of 2024. Now this time, at the beginning of the year, 2025, California's Strongest Man announces its events, and it announces that registration's open. And I had to sit down and ask myself, do I want to do this competition again this year? It's a fun competition. I really like the history in it. I usually like the events. I like the location. So I try to do it every year. But my initial thought was I can't do a strongman competition right now. My training has not been conducive to competing at a somewhat high level. I'm just not lifting very heavy weights.
Good morning. Let me show you my supplement stack. First thing in the morning, tall glass of Hydro 20, unflavored. And I like to drink some electrolytes. This is lemon flavored electrolytes. Time for breakfast. All right, breakfast this morning. Quick and easy, doesn't require any cooking. This is plain, non-fat Greek yogurt with blueberries and sliced banana, half a banana, and then this homemade granola, which is oats, hemp seed, flaxseed, pecans, cinnamon, honey, coconut oil, avocado oil, dried cranberries, dried apricots, and I think that's it. This is excellent. This is like a protein-packed, super healthy bowl of cereal right here. And then whole wheat English muffin with some almond butter and the rest of the banana sliced on top. I could never get this camera right. I'm gonna eat this and go to the gym, work with some personal training clients, and then train this morning. All right, day 2. How you feeling, Alan? Yeah, upper back is sore pleasantly sore from the cleans. Mid upper back is pretty sore from the front squats, but overall feeling good, motivation's high, training excitement, ready to train. Those two things aren't extremely important. They don't always have to be there, but it is helpful when they are. Motivation and excitement is better than any pre-workout you can take. I've got some one-arm dumbbell snatches, so I'll head over here to this side of the gym, an explosive upper body movement, and then push press, some pin press that I didn't do yesterday, Romanian deadlifts, rows, and arms. One-arm dumbbell snatch is just like the jumps on day 1. I'm gonna do 3 to 5 reps, 10 minutes, just kind of increase weight as I feel, however many sets I can get. I already did a little bit of warming up before the camera turned on. All right, we'll go 90. Whoosh. Whoosh. For push press today, got the good old 5x5. Can't go wrong with that.
He started training. He was like so soaked while he was training, and he said something. He said, "I don't know if I'm wet or sweaty," and I died.
Okay, that's what she said, Mom, bro. So for overhead press, what I'm thinking about is good, clean lockout. So I hold that lockout overhead, just kind of trying to improve my overhead stability. Really trying to extend my upper back on the dip. And then even more importantly is the action of my lower body. So that dip and drive, that transfer of force, which I think the jumping that I've been doing has really helped with absorbing and transferring that force back up. That muscle elasticity I talked about. positional elasticity, if I'm making up terms here. And I think that really helps with a strong push press, being able to turn that weight back around and pop it back up like a rubber band. Pin press, about chin, mouth height. I'm gonna do sets of 6 to 8 reps, 3 sets. I think 2 sets is good for today. I'll move on. If the events are 5 events that I can train for and enjoy my training, then I'll probably do it. And they are. All 5 of these events, for the most part, maybe 4 out of 5 of the events, I can continue doing the things I enjoy in the gym and still feel like I can do well at the competition. If it was 3, 4, or 5 events that I hated and that I would really have to switch my training around, do a 180, I'm not gonna compete in it. But so that's where I'm at. So I am gonna do California's Strongest Man, and I'm gonna prep for it, and I wanna do this training vlog to show you guys. I feel like I'm at a point right now to where I do feel like I'm ready to pursue this short-term goal and to do some comp prep. After that, who knows? But I'll just take it these couple of months at a time. Romanian deadlifts today, and I'm using the hammer strength machine, hammer strength lunge deadlift apparatus. Move these down in the bottom position for the second set. I like using this thing for Romanian deadlifts as well as just normal deadlifts. Kind of like a low handle trap bar deadlift. It's got a little different feel because you have to kind of pull back, which I like for Romanian deadlifts because I can really stretch the hamstrings, push the hips back almost farther than I would if I had a bar in my hand. But today there was a deadlift slot, which is what I'm doing right now. Now, the way I determine what kind of deadlift I'm going to do is really off of how I'm feeling and how close in proximity day 2 is to day 1. So I did day 1 yesterday. Today is day 2. My legs are a little heavy from front squats and sled pushes and all that. So I'm going to do a lighter variation, just target the hamstrings. This is a more stable variation because it's on a machine. So that was the reason for me picking this. Now, if I did day 1 on Monday, and then I had day 2, or I had Tuesday, Wednesday rest, and then my day 2 wasn't until Thursday, I would do a heavier deadlift variation. So on paper, this looks like a pretty massive program, in my opinion. I got 1-arm dumbbell snatches, push press, pin press, Romanian deadlifts, rows, arms. You can certainly do less than that and do more sets, but sometimes I like to do more exercises and just chop down the sets. You don't have to do 5 sets of 10 on every single movement. So sometimes, like today, 2 sets, that's it. The pin press, 2 sets. I'm gonna do a couple sets of rows, couple sets of arms. You can do even 1 set, 1 really hard productive set. You're good. It lets me live to lift another day. And it's productive enough, but it'll make me feel better tomorrow or the next day whenever I'm gonna train next. And today, being a more upper body focused session, I'm gonna do 5 sets on push press, but just 2 on the other stuff. So if it was the opposite, like yesterday, I did more cleans, 6 sets of front squats because it was a lower body squat focused day. Everything else, just a couple of sets. So I've got deficit pendlay rows, which I've been really loving. I use a wider grip, a little more upper back. But I'm gonna try with the Smith machine today. I just need to stand on something quite a bit higher. This is a bit much, but I want to try it. Sometimes you can explore in the gym. Ooh, that was enough. Ooh, that was tough. Oof. Oof. Oh. Solid sets. So with the pendlay row, how do I know when I'm done or failure or whatever? I try to pull the bar to my body. Once I can't do that, I'll keep going a couple more reps. Just once the range of motion is like chopped in half. And then once I'm using more body English than I know I should be, I'll stop it. So there's no real failure. I just do a really hard set. Once I want to stop, maybe do 1 or 2 more reps. So for curls, I'll usually do them one of 3 ways. Elbows behind my body, like an incline curl. Sometimes I use dumbbells, sometimes I use a cable. Elbows at my side, so like a standing curl of any kind. Elbows in front of my body, like a preacher curl. Beyond that, it's just whatever I prefer for that day. So I might do dumbbells, I might do a straight bar, I might do an easy bar, I might do cables. I might use a supinated grip, or reverse grip, or pronated grip, hammer grip. Cables, dumbbells, fat grip, whatever. Just up to my imagination and what I feel like doing, I guess. No. Okay, so this is the day after day 2, and I'm going for a run. No lifting today. I'm gonna do my go-to 25-minute run. So it's 5 minutes slow, and then just as a warm-up, 5 minutes fast, 1 minute slow, 4 minutes fast, 1 minute slow, 3 minutes fast, 1 minute slow, 2 minutes fast, 1 minute slow, 1 minute fast, done, which is 25 minutes. However, I didn't bring my watch, so I don't know how I'm gonna check these timed intervals, but I'll figure something out in the next 5 minutes, I guess. I like doing these time interval runs because it kind of breaks up the monotony of running. You know, you can look forward to these checkpoints. So I can go really hard for just 5 minutes and then look forward to that minute and then anticipate the next interval rather than just kind of mindlessly jogging for a half an hour, which sometimes I do like doing. But I like doing these, reaching these checkpoints. It's kind of like breaking your run up into sets. I really think that running and longer strides, fast running, sort of low intensity sprinting really helps make my hips and my lower back feel really good. Taking my weight training through full range of motion, but also getting out there and just freaking letting my feet fly, bro. Just going, knees high, legs back, reaching, stretching, striding, loosey-goosey in the hips. Man, I'm telling you what, it feels really good.